Welcome to a short preview of this ScreenCastsOnline video tutorial. This week I thought I'd cover how to organize the apps on your Apple Watch. Once you've used the Apple Watch for some time, you start to become aware of the apps that you use regularly. And by spending some time organizing how you access these apps, you can make the Apple Watch so much more useful. Now I like to think of organizing your watch in three different aspects. The first being the watch faces themselves, the second being the complications that are installed within the watch faces, and thirdly, what applications get configured into your dock. So let's start with watch faces first. Now I tend to have one or two modular watch faces as my primary watch face because these can contain lots and lots of different complications. So back over here on my watch, there is my modular. If I swipe across, I have a second watch face set up, and this is for when I'm doing workouts or doing activity. I can see my rings, I can see the current workout, I can select a workout, and I can also select the weather as well if I'm out and about. The third one I switch on sometimes, it's just the Siri watch face. I tend, to be honest, to stick to the modular because that's more information dense, although some people do like the Siri watch face because it sort of self-configures. Now, if you're going out socially, what you might want to do is add one of the more attractive watch faces, such as ones with photos or with Disney characters, etc. Now, the way you would do that, that's just a quick preview of one of this week's Apple-related tutorials from ScreenCastsOnline. ScreenCastsOnline is your premium source of Apple-related video tutorials. All of our members get access to brand new, up-to-date tutorials each week, as well as unlimited access to our entire video archive full of Mac and iOS related tutorials. You can stream and download all of our videos on your Mac, iPad and iPhone, and even your Apple TV using the members-only ScreenCastsOnline Apple TV app. Membership also includes a complimentary subscription to the digital ScreenCastsOnline monthly magazine, published each month and packed with videos, articles, reviews, as well as hints and tips covering all aspects of the Mac, iPad, iPhone, and all of the other fantastic Apple products. So, if you're ready to start getting the most out of your Apple devices, visit ScreenCastsOnline.com today and become a ScreenCastsOnline member.